Welcome to Inner Light. My name is Angela, and in this video here we're going to explore practical things that will help us awaken to the unlimited aspect of ourselves and be able to have a positive impact in the world around us. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. This video here is actually a complement to the last video I did at the Om Hour at Unity on the Bay, and I'm going to include a link to the video in the description below for you to check it out. In the last video I talked about the Great Awakening, and it refers to the point that we are entering a phase in the history of the human family that the experience of awakening is no longer going to be limited to a few people here and there like it was in the past, but it will begin to become a much more common experience that anyone with some desire are able to experience. And as I mentioned in the video, the experience of awakening takes place first individually, and then it becomes a collective experience. And so as I would like to share a story with you that will help you understand the importance of the awakening in our own lives. And that's the story of this king. And his king had a son which he loved above everything else. And he wanted to provide everything for his son to make sure that the son would grow and thrive. So everything that the son needed, he had it. The love, the care, the abundance. I mean, you just think about it, everything the son needed, he had it. And in one night, this son, this prince, had a dream. And in the dream, he forgot that he was the son of the king. He just thought that he was this ordinary person living an ordinary life, having to work hard to earn money to maintain and sustain himself. He was faced with difficult situations with which he had no control of. He began to experience fear and anxiety like he never had before. This fear and anxiety caused him to become sick in the dream. The point of this story is this. The solution to this young man, this prince, is not to make the dream better, not to give him a better job in the dream, not to give him a physical healing in the dream, but to completely awaken him to the fact that it is just a dream, that in reality he is still the son of the king and heir to all of the king's riches. In the same way, we as humanity are having this collective dream of limitation and of separation, in which we have been conditioned to believe that we are not only separate and limited, but that we have to maintain and sustain ourselves, that we are a victim of the conditions of life, that we have no control of what's going on around us, that we are limited by our education, by our physical body, on and on. And just as the solution for the son of the king was not to improve his conditions in the dream, the same thing is to us. The solution for anything that we may be experiencing in our life today is not to improve the experience itself, but to awaken to the truth and the reality of who we are, knowing that with that discovery, we will be able to experience a sense of freedom that nothing in this world can give it to us. And so the first step is for us to begin to identify what is it that is keeping us trapped in this dream. And the answer is our identification with our limited self. We have grown up believing that we are a combination of a physical body and this egoic mind, without understanding that our egoic mind is but a small part of the totality of our mind, and that our physical body is but a vehicle of expression. Just like my car. I have a car, but I'm not my car. In the same way, I have a physical body, but I am not this physical body. One of the things that you are going to notice is that as you are introduced to the idea that you have never been separate, that right here and right now you are an unlimited being, heir to infinite abundance and power. When you are introduced to those ideas, your ego are going to begin to challenge those ideas. It's going to begin to look at the circumstances of your life, especially if you are experiencing limitation, and question you. If you are experiencing some measure of limitation, that means that you are not all those things that you are learning about yourself. That is why it's very important for you to understand that whatever is taking place in your life right now is the result or the effect of your past belief. So if in the past you have believed yourself to be limited, to be separate, right now what you're doing is you're witnessing the result or the effect of such beliefs. Therefore, do not look for the evidence that you are unlimited as you look around of yourself. It is very similar to the prince in the dream. If the prince was looking for the evidence of what was taking place inside of the dream to validate the fact that he was the son of the king, he could not find that in his dream. In the same way, do not wait for validation outside of yourself so that you can believe in the truth of who you are. But when you begin to stay on the path and you begin to embody the reality of who you are, to the point that you are convinced that you are life, that you are abundance, that you are peace, that you have all the attributes of your Creator, when you begin to embody and become convinced that it is so, then you're going to begin to see the changes in your life. So let us see what we can do at a practical level on a day-to-day basis that can help us dissolve this false perception that we are a physical body with an egoic mind. And my invitation for you is to begin to create within yourself almost like a second entity, almost as if there is two of you within you. One of them is going to be the observer, and the other one is the one that is doing the thinking and the reaction and the planning and the plotting. So when you begin to, it's almost like bringing the light of awareness into your inner universe, and you begin to, instead of acting unconsciously, you begin to bring the light of consciousness to the way you think, to the way you react, to the way you behave. It's just like developing this witness or this observer within you. And what you're going to notice is that you will be able to see what's operating in your life. Are you having more positive thoughts, more negative thoughts? Are you reacting out of fear? Are you reacting out of an automatic pilot? What are your fears? What's going on within your subconsciousness? It is extremely important that you understand and you observe what's going on within you in order to be able to make a change. And in order for you to develop this observer state of consciousness, or this state of pure awareness, the practice of meditation and mindfulness are extremely helpful. That's why in most spiritual movements you're going to see the importance of it, because you will begin to train yourself to begin to spend more and more time in that state of just observing things, and that will give you the leverage that you need to make the transition in your identity. I was watching an interview with Eckhart Tolle the other day, and somebody asked him what was the difference in his mind and mind process before and after the awakening. And he said that before the awakening, his mind would be busy with thoughts 80% of the time. And after the awakening, up to the present moment, 80% of the time his mind is in inner stillness and presence. Therefore, it's important that you remember that developing the art of being fully present in the present moment is key for your own liberation and for your connection with the divine. And as you begin to become proficient in this way of being, little by little, just developing this mind that is constantly in inner stillness, observing life as it is without much reaction. When you begin to develop the art of staying there more and more, you will begin to notice that life itself will begin to reveal itself to you with guidance, with inspirations. You will become much more active in your life than you was before. And you will begin to identify yourself with life itself instead of the physical body that you identify yourself with right now. And to bring this message to a conclusion, I would just like to remind you that the process of awakening is not a process of achieving, but a process of realization. It's a process of gaining an awareness of something that already is. I'd like to encourage you to begin to believe that the things that the great teachers of the past have done, that you can do it as well. Begin to believe that such an experience is possible for you, and go a step further and begin to expect that in this lifetime you're going to be able to experience the fullness of your own awakening. We were not born to be ordinary people. We were born to be extraordinary sons and daughters of the Most High. So I'd like to encourage you to put on the mantle of the divinity, of the royalty that you are, and go forward boldly, convinced, empowered, and blessed. And so it is. Thank you. And for those of you who are watching this, I really appreciate you watching this channel. If you know someone that can benefit from this video, please feel free to share it with them. If you like it, just click the like button below and subscribe to the channel. There are other very nice videos on the channel. I highly recommend you to check it out. Having said that, a big hug to you. And from my heart to your heart, I see you in love and light. Namaste.